Okay, so the net went down. That's fine. I'm still evaluating and I'm still gonna give it the points that it deserves. Um, so far, I would say point one, color usage of the game, title of the game, font usage, the accessories, or I mean accessibilities, as well as the gameplay functionality are set by the people who understand how PvP works, disable certain things, uh, how those things work. That's fine as well. Um, Movement of characters in the PvP world, and that's fine as well. Not too much bad things with regards to that. That's fine as well. Interacting with buttons, pretty fast. Left, right, pretty fast. There's no lag in it. Music amount, um, master music amount, increasing music. I'm going just turning on left and right. Don't have to select multiple buttons. Easy access to turn and increase and decrease things. Voice chat, the ability to do so. Controller, look sensitivity, zoom. I would say it's pretty much average. It's not nothing too special about it. Maybe they'll do more later once the game is at a peak or higher performance. They'll do more with regards to that. Um, can I can I not switch off or change the functionality of the controller itself? Controller bindings. Sure. Let's see. Yep, I could change it to whatever I want when I want, however I want. That's fine. There are many different types, so uh, aim assistance is present. Target tracking is on. Vibrations, controller vibrations. Not sure if I want that on, but I'll leave it on for now. Equipment wheels, L1. Pickups, scoreboard, emotes, inspect weapon. Is there a waypoint? If there's not waypoint, then that means that this game doesn't operate with regards to teams. Operate with regards to just individuals. And if it does work with regards to teams, there really should be waypoint or at least direction commands with regards to where to go. Ping, yeah, there it is. Ping where you want to go. Ping location. Sprint L3. I typically like my sprint to be the up directional button. Let's see which one is up. Um, Communications wheel is up. It feels so easy for me to press the up button, but maybe that's been, yeah. To me, up button is far easier because communication seems to be a direct thing that you want to talk to someone, whereas sprinting is something you do all the time. If you just put the up button, I'll switch that to up, the up button. Because if you keep the up button on, then your character will keep sprinting. You don't have to keep pressing down on the L3 or the R3 in order to make them sprint. The moment you let go, it comes off the toggle, unless you have toggle in order to on or off. Which if you leave the toggle, I don't like messing with toggle, so that's what I'm doing. Vertical look boost. This was all checked before. Field of view. 75. Okay, so the game standard is 74 or 75%. So if someone is to come to you from the left or the right, or you to look up and down, left, right. So I can see as far as here. Well, as I'm increasing the distance with regards to where the character is in front of me increase, the more I increase my visibility from left and right. This is good, but at the same time this is bad. It's like driving. Your convex mirrors make things seem that they're much closer than they typically are, but when the vehicle is much further, there's much further back. So if you're, let's say for instance, you're shooting at an enemy you think is closer to you, the enemy is much further, so they'll probably take less damage. So you may want to step forward more in order to even get the shot off rather than waste rounds. So maybe that's not a good thing. So for right now, I'll keep it at 85%. Well, it's 74, 75. I'll keep it at 84%, like 9 or 10% higher. Simply because, let's say an enemy's coming at you from left or the right. Let me keep it at 80. If an enemy's coming at me from left or right, it might be a good idea just to have 5% more. Not too much of my shots will fall off either, based on range. 75% seems to be fair though. 75, 74 seems fair. Seems fair. For bullet time travel, damage based on hit, seems logical. But maybe they're just considering the fact of where you see, but based on where you're standing, it doesn't really matter. And you increasing your vision of both forward and to left and right won't matter. But it may actually matter because by field of view, it's pointing towards where you're standing. And if field of view is actually increasing your distance from where you're standing, yeah, but that's not how field of view works. Like field of view works like if I'm where I'm standing, if I see where I'm standing left and right based on peripheral vision and down there, this is what I'm seeing. If I increase it more, it's simply because I'm stepping backwards. So I'm only seeing field of view based on my movement, but the location both left and right, up and down are the same. I'm just seeing longer things. What I'm seeing in front of me is just further because I'm stepping back more. I don't get more field of view that I'm seeing more left and more right. I can't see more to left and more to right. All it is, I'm stepping backwards. So I'm not really getting more of a field of view. It's still tunnel vision. The character is just stepping back. So maybe in closed areas, it doesn't make a difference. Maybe in the open will make a difference. So far, with regards to points of the game, I would say intro, good. Text, good. Color usage, good. Animation of characters, good. Accessibility is good. Scrolling on text, good. Sound effects, good. things disabled, such as motion blur, lens distortion. Um, these are things they set up in advance, so those good. Crosshair seems to be fair. Uh, Performance color 255, that's good as well. The opacity, I'm not so sure about that yet. Um, Subtitles, also good. So far, there are about 10 to 12 things that I found are actually good. So I'm like at 1.2 with regards to the game at the beginning, as of now. Um, 1.3 to be honest with you, because based on the different windows, um, each pop-up per window is the single is the same window. It's a single window, and the coding that's set is set inside of a box table, and each box table have a different row of text per each box table because probably using JavaScript or um, maybe PHP. No. PHP is more for editing something. Um, HTML or advanced HTML. Maybe it's Java. Maybe it's PHP. Who knows? Um, I can't tell. Or it could be just Maya. I doubt it's Maya. Um, oh yeah, but everything's running smooth. It looks good. It's definitely not Flash unless it's actually Flash. If it's Flash, then that's actually really good and very rare. So far, I'm at 1.3 now. Pop-ups within each tables for each row of text and text description is good. That's a lot of text, man. See, when you're a game designer, you have to understand. Okay, so if I design this whole Windows gray window, and it's just the image of a gray window, and then I have a text that I thought of a font, and the font is called settings, and the image it's an image design logo I decided to create of my own, or have someone do it for me, and I put that image of the files next to the settings. I then have to capture the image itself, href, and put it next to the text within the script, and then have it pop up as right next to it, and have them without slash paragraph or slash p um, right next to each other in the same, and then under that per each section have the word gameplay and have an interactive button under those, and under each one of them are different interactive buttons, but they're not under. They're interactive buttons set in the horizontal formation rather than the vertical formation. So they'll all pop up next to each other. And then after you put those script in for each of those, it then put individual script that will pop up for each of these. You put those in, and then you put each of these tables, because this is a table here, and this is its own table here, and this is its own table here. So each word where it says gameplay settings, region, network, crosshairs, those are different tables, and these are different cells within tables. So per each of these, there someone typing away a script so that you can interact and move different buttons per each of these. So it's a lot of work goes just to put in the menu and the functionality of the game. That's why when people shit on games, like, you don't know the amount of hours they've spent just to put in for the menus and the functionality of the game itself. And stomping bugs is another issue, but just to create the game is one thing. To find each bugs is another. So bug stomping is a very important job, and creating a game with the menus and functionality and menus is a very important game. So with that said, I would say for just putting text and crosshairs in and hrefs in and cells in, and then colors for each, and rollovers. Well, not really rollovers, but or maybe there is rollovers. I can't see it. And opacity, size, rather than, and thinness of the rollover. I would say I'll give a full 1 for that. So now I'm at a 2.3 with regards to the game. Because there are tons of things I didn't factor in, because I'm be here all day if I'm just talking about menus for each different type of cell within each different type of table. But I'm not going to do that. And then there's the HUD itself. What's popping up on the HUD placement of where your character is standing, the HUD placement of where your tools and weapons that you're going to use is good. Where I guess your bullets or your perks also popping up is also good. Lower left, lower right. I'm pretty sure when it comes to executing powers, that'll pop up like in Neverwinter. It just pops up with at low opacity so you can see it. So everything seems to be good. I'll leave most of these things at their standard settings so far. I don't know what that thing on the... Yeah, so let's see. There's a timer. And then when I go towards the wall, point towards the wall, there's a little box that goes red. Move away from the wall, it still is red. And you can see it at the upper right, northeast, but it has nothing to do with what I'm pointing at. Interesting. There's a timer. Timer's beeping. It turns red. I let go. Goes and disappears because I'm not doing anything. I'm not aiming the weapon. So let me aim the weapon again. And as I'm aiming, the color change. Aim down sight. The eye zooms in. The gradient kicks in. It was white and it was red. Not sure what that's about. Probably doesn't have anything to do with movement or with weapon handling. But I've noticed the zooming in of, see, that's bright yellow. Zoom in, the gradient around zooms in as well to focus in on where I'm aiming. The tagline and the crosshairs, not showing obviously, but the dot reticle. Not sure why it would completely disappear. Let's say the character is here. Sound of the weapon is good. 2.4. Sound of weapon is good. Weapon sound is good. Recoil is good. Not too much recoil. Holding both my hands on the weapon. The weapon is not a big weapon, so the kickback isn't powerful. I'm shouldering it pretty good. See how long it would go for before it goes all the way up here. Aim down sights. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm pointing directly forward. Pointing directly forward. Recoil. see. That's more than 10, more than 10 degrees. I would say about 15. Let's try that again. Say about 15 degrees. It's about 15 to 20 degrees. That recoil is not that bad. That's actually good. Not sure why the line of sight disappears when I'm aiming. Should follow me when I'm aiming unless I actually want it to not be there when it goes away. So even though I'm at a 2.4, I would take away from it the reason why it completely disappears. So now I'm back at 2.3. But then I'm back up to 2.4 because the reload of the weapon is pretty damn good. Also, you can reload while you're aiming down sights without going into an animation to reload a weapon, then aim down sights again. That's very good. I give it 2 points for that. So now I'm at 8.6. I mean 2.6. 8.6. That's actually timer for training. Training should be training. There shouldn't be no countdown of timer for training. I'll take a point from that. 2.6 now, that 2.5. Shouldn't be a countdown of my training. It's training. I like the fact that there's north, east, southwest on the top to tell you exactly where you are. This is west. This is south. This is east. Now I'm back up to 2.6. I like the cell shading. I like the polygon usage. Or the, oh, I forgot to mention the mesh on characters. I like the mesh connections. It's pretty good. Her hands and the wrinkles on her hands and curvature of her hands while she's holding the weapon. It's kind of difficult to get the look of the weapons actually in your hand and then the reaction of the pressure on the hand while it's in the hand with a good cell shaded mesh hand where the thumb is pointing forward and it's actually in hand. So it's pretty damn good. I'll give it 2 points for that alone. That's pretty good. Especially for a free-to-play game, that's pretty damn good. It's easy to do it when you're using robots and stuff, or when you're actually dealing with flesh and everything. That's a different story. So I'm at the 2.8. I mean, yeah, 2.8. Oh, so now I've setting. Oh, lighting as well. Lighting and shadows. Lighting is accurate. Lighting placement is accurate. Intensity of light. Well, it will be more intense if there was on a lot of bloom or glare. But you could tell the type of floor that you're on. With regards to the painting, it's like a nice painted vehicle. Nice little yellow car. Pretty damn good. Nice sound effects is also good. 2.9. And of course the color usage and light usage is pretty good. I'm at a 3 now. 3.1 actually. Another thing to count is placement of lines separation with objects. Are they too far apart or are they too close together? It's good. Does it look blotchy? Is it crisp? Very good. 3.2. Reflections on the ground as well. Lighting is on the ground is one thing, but reflections based on the lighting on the ground, bouncing from bounce light, reflective light. It's good. Can't really see that much because the color of yellow, multiple color yellow go into orange, orange go into yellow, orange on top of yellow. This word seen over here in this form over here based on what it's showing. See, this makes sense. So this is going right across here, and because this is shining was showing here, down here, but because of this distance, it can only show like a mirror, only portions of it. That's pretty good. You can't fully see it. But it's not fully glass, so you can't fully see what's over here and over there. But you could see kind of like it under here when you walk away and close the gap, it goes away. It's pretty damn good. So I'll give it like a 3.5. I jumped some points with regards to that. 3.5. Use of gradient, I mean the use of rendering and reflective light and warm light, as well as direct light, intense light. This is direct light of this, where this light doesn't intrude. I mean, this is plain color. This is plain color, but it does have a light that interferes with everything. I don't like the fact that there's a countdown and timer with regards to training. That's why I took a point from it, but I'm at a 3.5. That doesn't really make sense that I need to connect to a server just to you have unlocked the medium build. I didn't do a single damn thing. All I do stood there and talked about the game, and I used training in order to do so. So I didn't train at all. So the fact that it would give me something for doing absolutely nothing, I don't like that at all. I mean, I don't mind, but it doesn't really make sense. So I'll take a point from the game for that. It's like the game doesn't understand what it is you're doing. It wants you to do what it wants you to do. But it doesn't have like a practice place where you could just practice without... I didn't see the options to practice without intrusion of a countdown or anything. And maybe there is one, but I don't see it, but I didn't see it. So I have to take a point off from the game. So I'm back down to like 3.4. But I like the fact that it gave me an award for doing nothing, so now I'm back up to 3.5. View. Can I go back to training? Can I go back to training? I wonder if training was like a one-time thing. That would really suck if it really was. But it gave me currency for training for not doing a single damn thing. Not sure how I feel about that. 150 currency points for not doing anything. And items as well. Okay. Here's the thing. A game should give you the options to go back and do training. In every game there's a simulation where you could do training somewhere, or an open area where you could train. So I need to do training before I equip anything I go into any combat. I need to understand what it is I'm doing. If it doesn't offer me the option to learn and to train and to learn, then it's pointless. Then this will just be a game about testing the waters while in combat without learning anything. Which means the only way you'll learn is through failure, and there is no learning. I don't like that at all. This isn't Dark Souls. I don't mind, but I don't like the fact that they offer you training and then it's a one-time thing. That's kind of bullshit. Use my currency to customize it just to look good. For what reason? Look, currency should have value for something. Okay, if it's about cosmetics and skins, that's fine. It's about having trinkets on it, that's also fine. That's up to the players. Stickers, that's also fine. That's also up to the players, what they want. Fun little things to put on weapons. What's necessary towards survival in the game is the essential components, such as active things needed for combat. Animation also. So there are 3 things that aren't really necessary for your survival and winning, but are things that you could use just for having fun. 4 things actually, animations as well. So I'm gonna pick. This is a level 3 weapon, level 4, 5, 6 weapon. Level 2 weapon, I'm assuming. So these are different level weapons, but you can't see the level because they're locked, so it won't tell you. I think the whole the whole design of the weapon, if you're dealing with the same type of weapon, it should be a little bit of design to the weapon, differentiation of the weapon, not the weapon to look the same all the time. If you're talking about levels, there's one little thing, 1 or 2 little things that make it look different if you're talking about levels. If it's just about the color on it, then you can always add a different color on it by yourself. Don't really see why. And currency in the wars to add color or different styles to it seemed kind of like a waste of points, but that's simply based on preferred choice and liking of person. But I need to see perks and mods and things that could make the weapon far stronger, and you can only do those things in combat, I'm assuming. So this is the overview of this. Same as this. It's pretty much standard, so I'll leave what I have. These are my reserves. My sniper rifle is equipped, so I decided to use a sniper rifle. Flashbang. Sure. breaching charge. I'm assuming breaching charge allow me to get through certain areas and get goodies. Smoke grenades, why not? Pyro grenades might do some damage, but if they run out of the area. Instantaneous damage seems to be goo grenade. Standard issue goo grenade. Okay, so I'm assuming that might be what it sounds. Is there any description to it? Is it going to tell me what it is? Once I equip it, is it going to give me any information towards what it is? No description on what the goo grenade does. Not looking good. Okay, it does tell me here. Solidifies on contact. And several goos, which solidifies on impact. That's assuming by the time it hits the ground, it explodes, and the person will be in the area long enough for it to explode. So you have to wait for the goo to initiate, and you assume that they're going to run through it. Thermal projectile explodes shortly after release. See, this is what the goo grenade should be. This isn't shortly after release. This is. Same as this. You would use this to block off one area, allowing them to go around. The goo would slow them down. Fire would initiate. It wouldn't be able to get through the fire. But the fire wouldn't last for long. I'm assuming the goo would last longer. The goo is active. The fire is active. Explosive grenade is active. All three are active. Flashbang is also present. Wonder if I turn this on, would the sniper go off? Nope, they're both on. So I could have both, switch between both. Might as well put them all on then. Now, would these things be what I'll have all the time, or are they one-time usage? Which means, am I going to be given the standard every single time? If so, then that's good. If not, then I'll have to collect these things on the way in mission. Grappling hook. Level 1 grappling hook. Earn XP while using this item to level up. So far, the only thing bad I see with regards to the game is the fact that the training is a one-shot thing. If it's about giving you points for just doing nothing, then you should cut off the giving you points and keep you in training. You could go back and forth in training whenever you want. Rocking watches, does the watch have a perk? That's dumb as hell. That's just fun stuff, but it's at the same time it's dumb. Curious I didn't kill the cat. Is spawn an adorable conspiracy instead. Alright, so basically you use a cat to investigate and to come back and to tell a tale on what it investigates. But that costs 1,100. In other words, it might give me the position of where the enemy is. Bring an omen of consistent cash flow into the arena. This is part of a battle pass. Of course it is. Consistent cash flow. Of course it is. That's why it was on that chick's shoulder in the intro video, and on YouTube, and on Twitter. Of course it is. Took tickets to the gun show. I'm not interested. Approve it for someone who's a stealthy person. That's appropriate. Everything this character has is appropriate. Spray. Contestant. Press. Join the club. Why not? Oh. Oh my word. So this is where all the work went into. I got a very good artist here. But really, I would say it's, I'd say, and I got a good street artist. Wall artist, actually. Not bad. Which would I say is the hardest one that they did? Obviously this one would be the hardest. Because it's color and everything, but then again, artists probably didn't do the coloring. Maybe they did the whole thing. The horse might have been the hardest. Not everyone knows how to do animals. Alright, but it's not about that. Let's see. Alright, enough of this. Alright. I've chosen the character. I've edited the character. I got my stuff. I'm ready to go. Can I continue training? I see, this will really piss me off if I can't go back into training. Every game has training. Every free-to-play game allows you to train somewhere in order to practice. Even within your own ship, or on your own time, or within an arena. A game that doesn't give you the ability to practice might not be a good idea. That you could always go back to train yourself, train yourself, train yourself. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm looking for a play. I don't want to look for a play. I want to practice. League, Battle Pass, store, equipment, contestants. And contestants. Let's try equipment. Look, I'm all about a game that gets right into it. But if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're going to be stumbling majority of the time until someone tells you how to do it. And if you're not about people telling you how to do it, learning on your own, that takes away half the fun from you learning how to do things on your own. This ain't Dark Souls game where you have to learn without any form of resource. They should have intelligence enough to know how to tell you how to do these things. Like when you first jump into Warframe, there wasn't a training room or anything. You just had to first do your first fighting mission against the enemy, and then you get into your ship, and then you're allowed to go to a relay, and then you're able to access the training facility. So maybe that's what's going on here. I first have to access training facility after doing a first match. So far the menu screen isn't really all that. This screen anyway isn't really all that. It's kind of similar to Hunt Showdown, except it's not as gloomy as it. You're not hunting beasts and stuff. So I won't give it points for something like that. It's really, you know, kind of ticked me off that you don't have training operations. It just goes straight into you only have this amount of time to train, and then screw you thereafter. Figure it out on your own. Yeah, that's not good. So let's just go. Leagues. Let's see what that is first. Bronze. Okay, that's where I have to go basically. Contestants. These are the people I have. Obviously, I could create more. There's nothing else I could edit on this character. So far, everything is empty. I mean, it is a free-to-play game, so I understand how it goes. Everything will be given to you in time as you progress. But the standards of every game is that there's always a training menu that allow you to train and go back to remember how you did your training, or at least give you a training menu and allow you to complete it on your own time rather than give them a fucking countdown. That's not good. That's dumb as hell. So I'll keep the game at a 3.5 right now. Not exactly at a 5 yet. So far it's okay. Let me see the battle pass. If the battle pass percentage amount for something is ridiculously high. 96 unlockable rewards. Okay. Buy premiums 1,150. I'm just assuming 1,150 is like probably like what, $20, $10. And what am I going to get for $10 or $20? I'm assuming 1,000 means $10. 96 unlockable rewards, 1,175 earnable multi-bucks. Advance your battle pass by the next 20 levels. Okay, the higher level go, the higher you get damage. Premium. See what's premium. Premium. Plans to perform. What is your opponent who will be singing the blues? It doesn't seem to come with any type of perks or anything. You're just wearing something fancy. I don't understand. I mean, I understand, but I don't understand how is that relevant towards you being a better player other than being a flashy player. Multi-bucks, you could use it towards buying better stuff. But it all depends on how often you get currency based on your success or failures in the game.
Let's rock and roll.
Doesn't really I don't understand that one. Fate is up in the air. What's that supposed to mean? It's just an emote. It's an animation. Also part of a battle pass. Part of this battle pass. Not sure if $10 is worth things that aren't going to be useful at all in combat, other than just a flash. Okay, so let's look at contracts. First one of the day. Okay, so first one of the way, when you're first time winning, if you win for the very first time, you get 4,000 experience points. Thereafter, you don't get it anymore. So the game is just boosting you a little because it's your first time. Afterwards, it's up to you to earn experience on your own, the regular way. And that's a daily thing. Your first daily is like a reward for you just to do something. So I'm trying to figure out what's the point of the combat. So I'm gonna just gonna jump into a mission and see what's up. My video only got like 5 minutes to it, so it's whatever. Okay, so there is practice. There is practice, thank God. So I took a point. I think I took a full 2 points off for that, um, because there was no practice, and there is practice. Thank God there is. There's range practice and there's tutorial practice. Let's try again. I mean, dear God, man. It would be terrible if this game didn't have practice. So I'm gonna go practice again. Oh. What I'm not gonna take a point off for is the fact that I have to load into a HUD. I mean, I have to load it into the server in order to see practice. The game should, practice should be implemented into the game itself. This should feel like it's a full developed game with the tutorial inside of the game. You shouldn't have to connect to something, a server, in order to access tutorial and that stuff. That should be part of the game. Okay, so you know what? I'll go into combat and everything tomorrow. Today was just my first impressions of the game. So far, it's based on just the image alone and everything is good. So this isn't about combat. This is about evaluating the game. So I'm here to evaluate the game itself for everything in the game. Tomorrow will be about combat. So based on everything, I would say, yeah, it's 3.8 so far. That's all I could say. I mean, thank God there's practice, and I could go back and do it over and over again. And there's range practice as well. That's why I'm at a 3.8. That's range practice. Not sure what's the purpose of the game beyond just winning and collecting cash to buy and just so I could look good. Should be something of a purpose to the world. Something that's affected in the world. It should be just to play, to win, to earn points. Should be something that would affect the overall world of the finals. If the world of the finals is simply the finals itself, then it's just a cycle, a loop cycle. So hopefully there's something more to the game than the loop cycle. Otherwise, it's just another version of Apex or Fortnite, just done differently. That's all. So tomorrow, I'll do combat. I just needed to see what the overall settings and system of the game and feel of the game felt like before I actually get into any combat.